Hello, artists. How are you today? Stephanie Aune coming to you here once again from the banks of the Trinity River, working on our ABC altered book. This is a Three Dog Night Part 2. Now, of course, you may be saying, hey, this isn't an altered book, but if you watched, I think it was the sea animal, I did decide to move out of the altered book and to put these little illustrations onto a canvas panel. Part of that is to just show you the diversity. You can so easily take any of these techniques and put it inside a book, or you can put them onto panels, or you can use any substrate that you want. You can use your sketchbook. You can do anything you want to do. So I am leaving this, series titled as an altered book because that was where it started out as. First thing I'm doing here is really doing some color adjusting. I wanted the night sky to be a little bit darker, so I'm taking an ultramarine blue with a kind of a violet color is probably in there also, and just darkening down that back sky. If you do it in a wash instead of a super thick layer of paint, you can still keep that speckled, starry, snowy sky back in there. And I really wanted to keep that really cool texture that I had back there. But here's the problem with too much texture in the background, is that it competes with the foreground. So you do kind of have to mellow that out a little bit. Here what I'm doing is I took a spray of water over that acrylic paint, and the paint was not completely dry, but it has to be a little bit dry. So when you spray your water over it, you can put your paper towel down, straight down on top of it, and lift it straight up, and you can get these water droplets. And I think it was quite effective, and I liked how the background went more into the background, and it allowed me to bring the warmer colors on top of it. So instead of just kind of having neutral colors or colors that all feel the same tone or value or whatever, I created contrast in value. So the blue is darker, the yellow is much lighter. In temperature, the blue is cold, and so it pushes things back, and the yellow is warm, so it will bring the image forward. So this is just a little bit of basic, color theory review here, guys. I know I talk a lot about color theory, but it's really important for you to know how to make color work for you. Now, even if you're not doing an illustration, why does it make a difference? Have you ever made a piece of artwork where all of a sudden there's just one part of it that your eye just goes to, and it's supposed to not go to that particular point, and you can't really quite figure out why the piece feels discombobulated? Why are things why is your eye attracted to that one little tiny, inch by inch space? It's because it most likely has a color that is causing it's causing your eyes to focus on it. So once you know how the basic rules of color work, it will make you a better artist, even if you're just doing collage. Or, if you're not painting. Anything other than, anytime you're using color, you need to have an idea of what colors do what when they're next to each other, and how to make something stand out without having it to be, just a pasted on focal point or something like that. How do you create movement in your artwork? And as artists, we don't really think about that a lot in the altered book sense. But that's what I'm trying to convey to you, is that you can absolutely take all of these color thoughts. Maybe we should call them thoughts instead of theory, because, you know, people get kind of freaked out when you use the word color theory. But, you know, it will only make your artwork better. All right. Got off on a little tangent there. Okay, so yes, yellows bring the image forward. So you see how the moon has kind of a high contrast between that red and that blue color? The moon actually sits up almost on the same level as the dogs. Now that I'm looking at it, it really does. But that's okay. I love how the moon turned out, but it's interesting. And the blue that is on the moon, that blue color, is a warmer blue than what's in the background, so that's pulling it forward also. So I'm just kind of talking while I'm, you know, doing all this work on here. Here I'm putting on Tank's beard and mustache. He's a terrier, so he has a beard and a mustache. Right now he doesn't, because he had to get his hair trimmed the other day. His face is just a little bit shorter than that, but you know, he doesn't have the big long noses that Baxter and Ozzy have. Is such a little character, old Tank Master. But yeah, we put on his beard and mustache, and then he does have also these big bushy eyebrows that are very, very adorable too. I wasn't really able to convey those as well. I know I tried a couple times. So here, the coloring for Oz is going pretty good, except for the fact that Ozzy has a black nose. And so that kind of threw me off. And you have the right to change the color. You know, I just wanted him to look more like Oz. You know, he's got a black nose, he's got these little white cheekbones, and he's got kind of a mask on. And it was hard. It's hard. But it's funny, I tried to do an illustration of Oz maybe a year and a half ago or so. And to look at the difference between what I did a year and a half ago versus this little painting, it's really astounding. So remember that as you do more and more of this, you will get better. You will improve. And that's what's exciting about art, is when you can see your improvement happen. I think I probably threw away all the old pictures that I had of, I might see if I can dig up that old video and get a picture off of it, of the illustration that I did of Oz a year and a half ago. And just to show you guys, you know, practice. We all have to practice to get better, including me. So here I'm really trying to get his face darkened down. And, you know, to make a black face under a blue background, you have to give it, you know, kind of that warmer blue tone to make it read as black. And, you know, I wanted to try to get his coloring close, but it was very challenging, not gonna lie. I'm like, okay, how do we make this work? And so this did take quite a while to work on, and a lot of layers and a ton of love, and I do like how he turned out, of course, in the end, but maybe next time I do him, it'll even be better. And that would be cool. So here you see how the color makes a difference. His little chest, if you squint at the painting right now, if you just kind of close your eyes and squint at it, watch how adding those warm colors over the top of it changes what comes forward in the painting. It was pretty cool right there, right where I was doing the that highlight. You could really see the difference. Your whitest, brightest colors will come forward the most. His little face was tough. It was hard, but look at you put those little two swoops on there, And there I finally figured out how to do the dog muzzle. Oh, that was like, did I get it? Oh my gosh. Kind of like Oz with the ball. Can I get the ball? Like, did I get that? Did I get it right? I think I did. You know, but then how do you get the neck? You know, the head from the neck part was challenging too. It's a challenging illustration. But, you just got to keep working through it until it's right. That's kind of how I like to look at it, I guess. I don't really give up on these, even though sometimes I feel like I want to, because I need to keep making content for you guys. So if I just gave up every time it got frustrating or hard, then I would have nothing to show you guys. So I have to just keep pushing through the frustration. And, I do wish I had a little bit bigger smile on Oz, but I tried that. I tried to give him a big smiley face, and it just looked weird. And so that's how he kind of ended up like this. Again, just trying to adjust the colors to get the... You have to have him sitting in front, but you have to have him... Excuse my tummy. You have to have him sitting in front, but then you have to have him have... so you have to have him have higher contrast, but then you have to have him, I'm not using really any brown here. And it's just... Whoops. Who's calling? Whoop. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to get this finished up so that you can have part 2. Part 1 got... The video was altogether about 50 minutes, so I just decided to split it up into 2. It makes it so much easier for uploading it, for one thing. And also, people don't like to watch 50 minutes of video. So hopefully this way we can have you guys get through the full thing without giving up. And also, I wanted to let you know too, I am working on... Well, this morning I went through and I have removed the commercials that are in the middle of the videos. So, and the reason for doing that is it's annoying when you get interrupted in the middle of a video with a commercial. I hate commercials. I hate commercials. I might be losing out on some, revenue from YouTube for doing that. So what you could do for me in return is be sure to hit that subscribe button, number 1. Number 2, set the alarm bell so that you guys know when a new video comes out. And definitely, pretty please, comment and subscribe. Comment and add to playlists. Those are big things too. And they really do help out the channel. Even if it's just saying a quick hello, I would really, really appreciate it. And I do read all of your comments. You guys are fabulous. And I'm here doing this for you. So I would really appreciate you saying hi. That's awesome. And so yeah, I took out all the commercials, middle stream commercials, for the full ABC Altered Books series. So, there you go. And I hate middle commercials. So, like, okay. Hopefully down the line it doesn't bite me in the butt, but, Okay, now we're putting in some little... I think I put in some little teefies for him here, too. I like where it's going. I like where it's at. It's... really fun. The eyes, you have to have the eyes just right. For me, I get, stuck on these little bits and pieces, and gotta have just the right eyes. I still feel like I need better paintbrushes, and that's frustrating. That little round cap, that's a water cap, from a bottled water. That cap is just holds water in there so that I don't have to reach up as high, just to get a little bit of water to loosen up the paint a little bit. Getting Ozzy in his little spot there. Did I want to show his feet sitting there, and got those guys in, and is Baxter coming through enough? So then you put paint down, and then you go back through, and you come back in with your pen, and then you put paint, and then you put your pen, and then you put your paint. It does get a little bit tedious, of course. But still, every bit was important. And it's worth it at the end. Sometimes things are not cut and dry and can't get quite done the first time. But perseverance with your artwork is important. Yeah. And there's things that I do that are just for fun, and that, especially the sketches. So if you don't want to get into something that's this deep and detailed, play in your sketchbook or play in your altered book, and really just enjoy the process, and know that you're having fun, you're doing something creative, you're taking your life away from your moment, or you're taking your thoughts away from your life for that moment. And that's really a lot of the blessing that artwork does for us, is allows us a little bit of an escape from everything. When you have to really focus, it's kind of like reading a book. The nice thing about reading a book at night before you go to bed is that there's the eyebrows I put in. Hi, buddy. Your toes are all dirty. He just came up from the river. The nice thing about reading a book at bed at night is you can't focus on anything else. You just have to focus on the book. And that's kind of what artwork does, is centralize our focus. So now I'm kind of getting close. Here's where we are getting close. There's the little teethies I put in on Ozzy's face right there. They're like, oh, they worked. And then I think I do that for Baxter too. He gets some little teethies. I don't know if Ozzy looks much like a German Shepherd right there, but he kind of does. And Baxter looks a little chunky right there, but it doesn't really matter. It's just the feeling of the dogs and not the actual dogs. Don't get stuck on having to make it be exactly perfect, like you're having to exactly illustrate a certain animal. We don't have to do that. We're just the feeling. And now just putting in some squiggly lines of black and white and black and white and black and white. I think I might have gone a little bit overboard with the squiggly lines with the end result, but I think it looks pretty cool too. So it's a learning process. Again, if you make your background too busy, it competes with your foreground. So where it's at right here is pretty cool. And then now we're just going in and doing a little bit more definition around his little facey. See, again, I'm going around those spots over and over and over. But you just have to kind of keep building. And maybe at one point, hopefully here, I'll get better at it and I won't have to continue to go over it so many times. It'll just work out better, and I'll know not to, see right there, I kind of made it brown and the wrong color. And so when you make the wrong color, then you got to go back through and color fix it again. And it's a process. Baxter looks kind of like a teddy bear right there. But Baxter does actually kind of look like a teddy bear. His face with his beautiful little funky ears that go out sideways. He's got the best ears. Just trying to give some definition to that foot. Making a sideways foot, even though it's a fun illustration, we still need to make it look right, and that was kind of challenging there. Bringing in some more yellows, I think, into Tinker's chest to bring him forward a little bit, and I think I probably put some a few more yellows into Baxter's chest too, if I remember right. We got to bring him forward just a little bit in the painting, color adjusting. Little dabs of color. I'm not putting down one big swatch of color, except for at the very beginning. When you're blocking in, you can put in, a basic color, but with this illustration, I decided to go through and, to do the fur, a lot of different colors make up all the different furry tones. Ozzy does have a tan stomach, and then he has he's a saddleback, so he has black. All right, we're getting close here. We're getting close to the end. And I have gone through and, I put the black circles around the moon, and here I'm putting white squiggly lines around the moon. And then I did kind of a white frame. And then I took my gel pen and I did all sorts of dots with my white gel pen to kind of give a snowy effect. And then here I'm just putting on some little stars. Just doing a cross and then an X over the cross, and just to make sure it looks like a three-dog night, and then kind of a snowy night and the starry night. It might have gotten a little bit busy at this point, which is a little bit frustrating, but I think it still looks pretty darn cool. So we are just about finished here, guys, and thank you so much. Please hit that like button. Please leave a quick hello. Don't forget to sign your artwork. You need to be proud of what you're creating. So, all right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.